Hi, my name is Ashley, and this is my analysis for LAE4405, our video analysis observations. First, with the dialogic reading that the teacher did with the students, her environment was very well. The students were engaged. First, she introduced the title, the author, the cover. She asked the students to predict what could be happening in the story, what the characters look like. She also introduced vocabulary words to the students that they may not have known. The children were engaged and interested in the story. They were asked for their input about how they feel about certain things, and they also got to make related comments about like some sort of the characters and how they can relate to how the character would feel. For example, they were reading the story about the blanket, about how the child in the story did not want to throw away their blanket, even if after it was all worn out and thrown out. So they were able to say that how they might have felt if one of their favorite toys was thrown out. So the students were very engaged. So the teacher plans very well and accordingly so that the students can somewhat relate to the book that they're reading about. The second video that I observed was the using pictures with Key Stage 1. This video that I observed talks about the students mostly focusing on the characters and the pictures in the books. For example, in the picture books, how they have the characters there. I believe it was a really good strategy because for example, they used the book about the two grandmas and how the cover of the picture book has the two grandmas hugging the child in the middle, and they're all happy. But then when you open the cover, it shows us the picture of the two grandmothers sort of like mad at each other. So the teachers asked the students to describe the characters in the book. They also say how would they feel. They use adjectives on how they can describe that. I believe this is really good because the students will be developing comprehension skills. They can also help students predict what could be happening next, and the students are able to relate to the feelings and emotions that some of the characters might be feeling as well. This also helps the students construct meanings to things. The next video was the procedural writing on how-to books. This video particularly interested me a lot because I believe the way the teacher structured and planned out the writing activity was very well thought out. So first she read a book about how to do a certain task. So reading and discussing elements is the base for students to create their very own activities, such as writing. So first the teacher asked the students something that they're very familiar with, something that they're really good at. She points out that one of the students is good at hockey. So she says that Johnny can perhaps write a book about hockey, how to play hockey. So the teacher then introduces a how-to book, and the familiar topics for students help them create their writing. She also asks them to be detectives while she's reading the book. She picked a book on how to make pizza, so that way that book serves sort of as a guide and a model as to how their own how-to book will turn out to be. So the books are the base for writing. In overall, for all the three videos, it's really important that the teachers, when reading stories, the key to that is the student's understanding. So for example, how the teacher is, how fast she's reading or how slow she's reading, how he or she are reading, their volume, their enunciation, and their expression. It's all key to reading stories to children. And not only that, before reading the book, selecting a very good book and an age appropriate book is also very important, and planning carefully as to how they can also conduct concluding statements, questions, or activities that will follow right after the book. After selecting a book, it is also really important in creating a positive environment, making sure that the students are engaged and paying attention to the story, and perhaps planning for minimum distractions. So a strong connection between reading and writing is really important, because oral and language development oral development is all tied together into writing. Talking about a topic the children choose both before and during will help children write in a focused manner. For example, that's what the students in the writing procedural skills did in the video on writing up their how-to book on something that they can relate to. So books lead into writing ideas and engage children in a discussion before they begin writing. So for example, the teacher wrote down a list in order of, for example, making sure that the students capitalize, that they have their capitalizations, their finger spaces, using adjectives, using words such as but, also, and neat handwriting, and saying that their ideas have to be expressed in order. So before that as well, they can exchange ideas and thoughts in that discussion before they're writing. In conclusion, all of these activities, such as story interpretations, role-playing, written responses, character studies, and making their own book, and comparing a story even to real life, this all enhances a child's appreciation for literature and strengthens children's communication skills, which is really important. Thank you.